also. I done that with the previous section. Look for sine x. When you differentiate sine x with respect to x, it is clear. When you differentiate sine x with respect to x, it is cosine x. Now, if you have instead of x, you have another function. You have a function of x, not x. Just you need to multiply by the derivative of that function. For the table of integral of derivatives, you need now to update it and include all of these stuffs. Similarly, for the power, when you have u to the power n, you will differentiate it as usual. Just what you will do more, you will multiply by the derivative. We know that the derivative of e to the power x, it is itself. Indeed, if you have another base other than e, like a or b or whatever, it will be also the same, but you need to multiply by the ln of b. We used the chain rule to prove this, and you just need to recall it and add it, please, add it to your table of derivatives. This question is, I have showed you this question in 3.2. I believe that this should be here, and this is 3.2. Because we have the quotient rule. It is 3.3 because we have trigonometric functions, and it is 3.4 because we have a function of another function. So this question, I think it is better to be moved to section 3.4. I will do that in the future, inshallah. For now, I have showed you this in 3.3, I think. Now, how to solve or how to find the derivative of this function? Do we need to differentiate? What is the question? The question is, find the slope of the tangent line. What is the slope of the tangent lines? I will usually prefer to call it m sub t, the slope of the tangent. So do you know that the slope of the tangent at a point will be equal to the derivative of that function at that point, okay? طبعا, I think in the quiz of today, I give you, I need to find the slope of the derivative. So if you want to differentiate the derivative to find the derivative, it will be the double derivative. I don't know if it is the question for you or for the previous section. So this is one of the tricks that you need to be careful about. If you want to find the tangent line to a curve, you need to differentiate it. So if you want to find the tangent line to the curve f, differentiate it. If you want to find the tangent to the graph of the f prime, differentiate it, and so on. So what we need to do, ya shabab, is to find the derivative and then evaluate it at pi over 6. Is that clear? Please, ya shabab, take a pen and paper and start find the derivative, practice. So what we will do to find the derivative of this function? We have a quotient. طبعا, some of you, they can simplify. If you want to simplify your function and write this 1 over sine and this is cosine over sine, but you will make it long. I think it is better to differentiate directly, and you should know what are the derivatives of these functions. So what we will do, we will write the denominator, which is 1 plus 2 cotan 3x all squared. So this is the quotient rule. Now we will write the denominator multiplied by the derivative of the numerator. Now, what we have here, we have a constant multiplied by a function. How to multiply a constant multiplied by a function? We will just multiply that constant by the derivative of that function. So now the derivative will be what? 3 times the derivative of cosecant. What is the derivative of cosecant, ya shabab?
Minus cosecant cotan.
It's negative itself times cotan x. You should know that. Now I differentiated. I have differentiated cosecant. What I need to do more, I need to differentiate what? 3x, because it is not x, it is 3x. So how to differentiate 3x? The derivative is what? Is 3. So let me simplify it, because I don't have more space here for the next term. So I will simplify this now, shabab. It will be 3 times negative 3, so this will be negative 9. Here we will have negative 9, and I'm gonna write the rest. Cosecant 3x cotan 3x. So this is the denominator times the derivative of the numerator. Minus what? The numerator times the derivative of the denominator. What is the derivative of the denominator? The derivative of 1 is 0. The derivative of 2 cotan. We will multiply by 2, And what is the derivative of cotan? The derivative of cotan, it is negative
Minus
cosecant squared. You should know that, ya shabab. The derivative of cotan, it is negative cosecant squared. What is remaining is the derivative of the inner function. So I'm gonna multiply by 3x. So to make it easier, I will simplify it, ya shabab, like this. So I will write just here, negative 6 cosecant squared 3x. Is that correct? What I did, 2 times 3, that one is the negative. So now what we want, ya shabab, we want, you can simplify if you want. طبعا it depends on what you want. You can stop here, ya shabab, or you can continue. It depends on what you want. You want to simplify, to put it equal to 0, to do what? Now, if you put it, if you put the derivative, if you want to evaluate, you can evaluate now. But let me do one step for you to simplify. This will be negative 9. This multiplied by this, cosecant 3x, cotan 3x. طبعا I said you can substitute. Plus this will be minus 18. Cosecant 3x, cotan squared 3x. Correct me if I'm wrong, ya shabab. This will be plus.
Doctor,
you forget about 1 plus 2 cotan 3x.
the inner function, aren't we supposed to make it 3 because we differentiated?
Yes, we did. We differentiated. Where it is? We don't have 3x. Where we don't have 3x? We multiply the denominator by the derivative of the numerator. Then the numerator multiplied by the derivative of the denominator. We multiply this 3 by this 2. It becomes 6. Are you okay with that? You got my point?
Yes.
Now, let's ya shabab, substitute. Now we need to find the derivative at pi over 6. Now, you know, when you have 3x, if you put instead of 3x pi over 6, what it will be? It will be pi over 2, am I right? So now, here, what I will do, I will find the derivative at pi over 6. So instead of 3x, I will write what? Instead of this 3x, I will write pi over 2. Pi over 2. Also here, pi over 2. Here, pi over 2. And in the last one also pi over 2, and in the denominator pi over 2. Now, do you remember what is cotan pi over 2, ya shabab? What is it? It is cosine pi over 2 over sine pi over 2, which will be what? 0 over 1, which will be 0. So this will be 0. Wherever you have cotan, it will be 0. So this will be 0. So we left up with what? Whatever that one is, طبعا here we have 1. We have 1, but it will be 0 at the end. So this will be 0 minus 0 plus what will be this is squared, not cubed.
Doctor, what about pi over 6?
Yes, huh?
What about pi over 6?
We substitute here, x is pi over 6. We need when x is pi over 6, we put it here.
Okay, we put it here pi over 2.
Pi over 6. We bought x equals, it was 3x. But instead of x, pi over 6, what it will be?
Okay.
It will be pi over 2. So this is 3x. The 3x will be pi over 2. X is pi over 6. When x is pi over 6, 3x will be pi over 2. Now this will be 0, 0, and we have there 18 times what? Times 1 over 1 plus, this is 0 also. So this will be 1 plus 0 all squared. So it will be 18 over 1, which will be 18. And the right answer is C. Any question, Shabab, please, about this? This is very important.
I have one problem. Why we multiply 3 to the minus 2 there?
Why we multiply by 3?
Yeah.
Because of the chair rule. We have used the chair rule. What we are saying, ya Shabab, for 3 classes. What we said, ya Abdul Aziz. Ya Abdul Aziz. What we are saying here, ya Abdul Aziz. إيش قاعدين نقول هنا? We multiply by what? If you have x to the power n, if you find the derivative will be x n minus 1. But if you have a function of x, not x, you need to multiply by the derivative of the inner function, like 3x. If you have x to the power 2, all derivative, it is 2x squared minus 1, so it will be 2x. Now, if you have 3x all to the power 2, what you will do to differentiate it? It will be 3x to the power, it will be 2 times 3x all to the power 1 multiplied by 3. You should multiply by the derivative of the inner function. What is the inner function here? It is not x, it is 3x. What is the derivative of 3x, ya Abdul Aziz? Hello?
It's 3.
So you know from where we multiply by 3? By the chain rule. You need to revise 3.4, ya shabab. This is the chain rule. You need to multiply by the derivative of the inner function. Revise the examples that we had. Now also we will apply it here. Now let's see, ya shabab, now solve these together, please. Which one of the following is true? Is this true? Do you remember? I think we didn't study this before, did we? What is the derivative of ln x? It is 1 over x. We will study it later, I think. The derivative, ya shabab, of the ln x, it is 1 over x. But the ln 10 is a number. Is there x here, ya shabab? Do we have x here? We don't have x. So what is the derivative of this?
0.
0.
It will be 0. Let me go to the next slide. So the derivative of this one, ya shabab, is 0 because the derivative of any constant is 0. Now, the next one, if f is differentiable, then the derivative of f of the square root of x, it is f prime of x over 2 square root of x. طبعا here we need to apply, ya Abdul Aziz, we need here to apply the chain rule, لأنه اللي هنا ما هيش x, it is square root of x. So how to differentiate this, ya shabab? How to differentiate this? By using the chain rule. What you will do, you will differentiate f as it is, then you will multiply by what, ya Abdul Aziz? Tell me. By the derivative of the square root. What is the derivative of the square root, ya Abdul Aziz?
1 over 2 square root
Yeah.
of x.
Yes.
أنا
So
أسامة دكتور not عبد العزيز.
اللي سأل مين
أي
اللي
أنا
قال؟
أسامة سألت.
أسامة. أحسنت يا أسامة. So this will be, ya shabab, what? F prime of what? Of a square root of x multiplied by the 1 over 2 square root of x. Is that true? It looks okay. Is that correct? Is this correct? It is not correct. Look what we have here. This is x and this is the square root of what? Of x. So this is false. What is correct is this. It should be the square root. Now, the derivative of 10 to the power x. The derivative of 10 to the power x. Is it 10 to the power x minus 1 multiplied by x? If you have x to the power 10, what is the derivative of x to the power 10? This is power function. The derivative of x to the power 10, it is 10x to the power 9. This is power function. But if you have 10 to the power x, this is not true. This is exponential function. What is the derivative of b to the power x, ya shabab? The derivative of b to the power x is b to the power x times ln b. But this is not true. What is true is that the derivative of 10 to the power x is 10 to the power x ln 10. The exponential function derivative. Now, let's check this one. The derivative of the square root of the function, not the f of the square root. Compare this with this. Again, here we need to differentiate first the square root. You know what is the derivative of the square root of anything. It is 1 over 2 the square root. But now you need to multiply just by the derivative of the inner function. So what we will do to find the derivative, it will be the square 1 over 2 the square root of f of x times the derivative of what is inside. What is inside the root is the derivative of f. And this is true. This is true. This is exactly what we have. Now for sure, because this is the answer, this is the true, this one is false. Why this one is false, ya shabab? Who can tell me why this is false?
There is one true only.
Why?
There is only one true.
No, this is not an answer. I can give you just this question and ask you to tell me why this is not false, not true. What you will say?
Because it is don't differentiable.
In general, the derivative of the absolute value is not the absolute value of the derivative. This is in general. So this is always not true. But here for this specific one, طبعا I removed the justification of, I think Mr. Shahrani, I removed that, it is not accurate indeed. The best explanation for this, ya shabab, is what? Find this, write it without absolute value, differentiate it, and write this without absolute value, and compare between them. You see clearly that they are not the same. So this is what I did for you, and I have uploaded, ya shabab, the slides of 3.2 again, I think. So now look, this is the absolute value of x squared plus x. It is itself or the negative of itself. This is when it is positive, and when it is positive, this is what you have. When it is negative, this is what you have. Now, if you differentiate, it will be this minus this, and now you need to remove طبعا 0 at 0 and at -1, because it will not be differentiable. This one, it is not differentiable. The derivative from the left and derivative from the right, for at 0, it is not the same as the derivative from the right. The same
We have a corner.
for -1 also, it is not the same. The derivative from the left is not the derivative as the same as the derivative from the right. Now, this is the derivative, shabab. Now, this is the derivative. This one, here it is. It is 2x plus 1 and the negative 2x minus 1. This is when x greater than 0 or less than -1. This is when x between -1 and 0. But look at this. Look at this. The absolute value of 2x plus 1. Here it is. The absolute value of 2x plus 1, it is 2x plus 1 and negative 2x minus 1. But this one, if x is greater than -1/2, this is when x is less than 1/2. And look, are they the same? Is this function the same as this function? Of course not. They are not the same. Let's go to, I will give you, shabab, please, 1 minute to solve this easy question. 1 minute to solve this easy question, please. And I will open a vote for you, polling for you, if you want to share your answer. Try, shabab, to take a pen and paper and start practice. We will have a quiz, next quiz about mainly about 3.4. طبعا راح يكون يا شباب 50-50. Most of the questions will be from section 3.4, but it will be related to the ideas before.
How many questions are there going to be?
I said, ya shabab, at least 5. They could be more, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, at least 5. We will see. طبعا I can decide about the time and the number of the questions when I prepare the quiz. I didn't prepare it yet. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to grade even the previous quiz. So I will grade them, inshallah, during the weekend or next week. By the way, shabab, I have uploaded the solution. Always I will upload the solution for you, so you can just compare your solution with the typical solution, and you can estimate your grade. Don't wait for me until I grade it. You can expect what is the grade that you will get, inshallah. So 22, 23 students, I will end, ya shabab, the voting. If you don't mind, if you have an answer, you can choose it now. So the answer, let me share with you the results first. So mashallah, most of you, they go with the right choice. The right choice is 6. The right answer is 6. Let's see together why it is 6. You can solve it by 2 methods, I think, or more. But let me solve it by the typical method here. You have y here as a function of what? You have y as a function of x. Y as a function of u. And u as a function of x. Let's say g of x. So now you will apply the chain rule. Now the derivative. I need the derivative of y with respect to x. The derivative of y with respect to x, it will be the derivative of y with respect to u at the beginning times the derivative of u with respect to x. This is the chain rule. طبعا you can, شباب, substitute here. In this example it is easy, but in others it will not be easy. So it is better to apply it like this. Now, what is the derivative of y with respect to u? What is the derivative of this, Shabab, with respect to u? It will be 3 times 4, it will be 12, u to the power 3 plus 0, because the derivative of 1 is 0. This is the derivative of y with respect to u times the derivative of u with respect to x. Here it is. What is the derivative of u with respect to x? It is 1 over 2 square root of x. Now substitute, it is 12 times, what is the u? U is the square root of x to the power 3, 1 over 2 the square root of x. Now 12 over 2 will be 6. Square root of 3 to the power 3, it means that you have it 3 times. So one of them will be cancelled with this one, and you still have 2 of them, which will be x. So the answer is 6x. Now this is the derivative of y at any x. Now the question is, what is the derivative at evaluated at x equals 1? Here it is. Now this means that you bought x equals to 1, so it will be 6. The answer is 6. Let's have another question because we don't have much time. Yalla Shabab, 1 minute to solve this. I will give you 1 minute to solve this. And again, I will launch a polling for you. Poll, yes. Now it is ready. You can choose the right answer. The idea is easy also. Just you need to apply the chain rule. You need to find the slope of the normal line. خلينا بس أكد لكم إيش معنى slope of the normal line؟ mn. You know that the slope of the normal line is negative 1 over the slope of the tangent line. Can you find the slope of the tangent line? Yes, I have the function, so I can just find the derivative. So it will be negative 1 over the derivative of g at x equals 2. So here it is. So our target now is to find the derivative at 2. Find the value of the derivative of g at 2. Yalla ya shabab. Find g prime at 2. In 1 minute. We don't have time. We have just 2 minutes to the end of the class. MashaAllah, there are 8 students. They have already answered the question, but not correctly. Only how many students they got the right answer? Let me check. 5. Excellent. 5 questions with the right answer, but the others they are not. Let me share with you, Shabab, the results. If you have time, if you have an answer now, you can enter it. ممكن كمان تجرب حظك تشوف انك موفق ولا لا يعني في الاختبارات. But I don't advise you to do that. Let me share with you and end the polling and share with you. A7, B7, 12 with C. So the answer is C. Yes, you are right. The right answer is C. Look. The answer is C. Now let's see, ya shabab. Let's see why the answer is C. Now what you will do, you will find the derivative of x, of g. G is a function of f, so it is a function of another function. Now differentiate the square root. You know that the derivative of the square root, it is 1 over 2 the square root, which is 1 plus 3f. Now you need to multiply by the derivative of this function. So multiply by the derivative of 1 is 0, the derivative of 3f is 3f prime. This is the derivative in general. Now evaluate it at what? At 2. So it will be 3f prime at 2 over 2 square root of 1 plus 3f at 2. Substitute 3 times. What is f prime at 2? It is 16. Over 2 times the square root of 1 plus f of 2 is 5. So 3 times 5, it will be 15. So what we have? We have 3 times 16 over 2 square root of 16, which will be 3 times 4 over 2, because this will be 4 if you want to simplify it more. This will be 3 times square root of 16 over 2, which is 3 times 4 over 2, which will be 12 over 2, which will be 6. Now this is g prime at 2. Now the slope here, go back here to here, substitute now. This will be equals to negative 1 over 6. And this makes the right answer is C. Excellent, ya shabab. Thank you very much. See you, inshallah, next Sunday. Have a nice weekend and not hard working. It should be hard working, ya shabab. weekend because you have midterm. You have 25% of the course. You know 75 points. You will have 15 questions, five points for each question out of 300. Any question about anyone?
Doctor,
Yes.
دكتور
the next class the quiz, the long quiz.
Again?
The next class is the long quiz.
It will be long quiz, yes. Plus 3.5, inshallah. We will start 3.5 like in 20 minutes and 30 minutes for the long quiz. It will be 2 quizzes. يعني quiz number 7 and quiz number 8.
طيب دكتور عندي سؤال لو سمحت.
Quickly, please.
يوم الاختبار ليه ما يصير يوم الثلاث يكون احسن من يوم الاحد عشان مد الكيمستري يصير مراجعه مره واحده.
ايش راح تستفيد؟ ما عندي مشكله لو بدكم اياه الثلاثاء، انا ما تفرق معي. لكن
اشوف
ايش راح تستفيد لما تاخذ الاختبار يوم يعني يوم الكويز يوم الاختبار ما راح يفيدك بشيء. ليش؟
يكون مراجعه.
يعني اذا ما ضبطت في الكويز ما راح تتعلم، ما راح يكون عندك وقت تعرف الاشياء اللي انت كويس فيها والاشياء اللي ما انتش كويس فيها. الهدف من الكويز انك تكون جاهز تتدرب. احنا خلصنا الماتيريال قبل يومين او قبل 3 ايام، فانتوا جاهزين.
قصدي لانه ما في وقت اراجع اذا عندي مد كيمستري مثلا.
في وقت. احنا اخذنا اوريدي كويزات في 2.8 و3.1 و3.2 و3.3، ما ضل معك الا 3.4 بس. راجعوا الاسبوع هذا، بكره وبعده ركز على 3.4.
دكتور
في ال 3.4 راح يراجع لك كل اللي قبل. يعني اذا فهمت 3.4 صح راح تفهم كل اللي قبل صح. طبعا انا يا شباب اخذت تصويت في الكلاس اللي فات، الكلاس اللي قبلكم اخذت تصويت وكانت الاغلبيه مع الاحد، فما عاد اخذت معكم تصويت. ما عاد تفرق يعني it will be the same. طبعا انا احترم وجهه نظرك، لكن راي الاغلبيه ورايي انا كمان انه تكون قبل الاختبار بوقت كافي عشان تتاكد ايش الاشياء اللي انت تحتاج تركز عليها في اليومين اللي باقيه. يعني
الاحد وقت متواصل.
الاحد مناسب. انا اي بيليف سو، يعني انا اخترته لانه مناسب لكم ان شاء الله. فحاول على قد ما تقدر انك تحضر حالك، لكن راح يكون عندك وقت تعود